Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back with another episode of Attack on Titan. Now, the last episode we had a kind of a coming out for Bertholdt. He's proven himself to be, or he's becoming one of the most capable Titans in the show. It's funny. He's always been, in terms of his strength and size as a colossal Titan, he's always been the most capable, obviously, but he's always been treated as the quiet, the quiet shy type that isn't as as skilled as everyone else is on the field. That goes through for this persona that we know as Bertholdt, but not necessarily so much for the colossal Titan. No, I mean, we've seen something similar with Reiner before in terms of a split personality. Someone was saying to me that this is not necessarily a split personality for Bertholdt, so much as him realizing what his motivations are, right? And finally accepting that he is a warrior and what comes with it, right? Reiner himself is a different scenario where his persona as Reiner doesn't seem to be able to handle the task that they've been given, and so he creates a separate persona to deal with that, and so he goes back and forth between the two and not doesn't recall what the other has experienced when he switches. But Bertholdt's a bit different. This is just him coming into his own, and Mikasa attempted to kill him there, and he proves that okay, he trained with you guys, he's just as capable. And so I imagine we're gonna be seeing, I don't see how, Eren can actually take him on. He might have gotten away with doing that with Reiner, and the last episode they missed an opportunity. They were supposed to kill Reiner, and they didn't. I think they celebrated a bit too early. And now Bertholdt is now in the fold. He was actually out on the outskirts of the wall with the Beast Titan, who we now know is called Zeke, and the one of the Titans that he had with him, carrying a cage of some sort on his back, contained Bertholdt, and he just tossed him over the wall, and he's about to transform. Oh, he still cares very much about Reiner because he could have transformed when he was tossed over. He didn't, because he saw that Reiner was injured and wanted to ensure he was safe. Now somehow Reiner managed to move his subconscious from his brain to the rest of his body to avoid being killed. That's something new that we haven't seen done before, and I wonder if everyone can do it or if it's just something that's unique to him. Alright, I mentioned many times that they've not been a great job in terms of explaining to us how these Titan abilities work. And I don't know if we're gonna get that explanation later, because a lot of the fans of the manga seem to be knowledgeable about it. But is it because they've already explained it in this arc in the manga, or they've just skipped it overall in the anime, and they should have explained it but they haven't to us, right? Or maybe later on they will actually explain it, but they haven't done a great job explaining to us how exactly the Titan abilities should be working, why it differs from each Titan to the next. So he managed to get Reiner on his back, which his armor would protect him from his transformation, from the blast after he's transformed. They've developed a new weapon, the Thunder Spears, which again is short range, and with the steam coming from the Beast Titan, I don't see how they can get close enough to actually use that against him. But they have to find some way. They can't go back they can't lead him back to the wall, because that's where Erwin is and the others, and they just get slaughtered. So Armin is in charge, right? Everyone's looking to him for guidance to tell him what to do, and he's gonna have to figure out some way to beat the colossal Titan. So that I'm excited for. As I said before, it's a game of chess between Erwin and the Beast Titan and Zeke, to see who comes out victorious. And I don't want us to spend too much time this season on just in this one location, and at least this half of the season, and that seems to be where we are now. For the past, since the season has started, this is where we have been. And not that I'm complaining, we're getting a lot of brilliant fights here, but I still want the story to progress, because we've been promised this space since season 1, and we're just so close that I just want to get there and learn more, right? Alright, so let's get into it. He's here. Not. He's using the rubble. Just decimate everyone. I've been seen out there.
私たちの位置は分かってないみたい。火のついた瓦礫をばらまいて志願しなく火のがもう死じよ。はよセット。
Come on, Armin.
僕には分かる。そうやって震え。
どうすればいい？さっきだってベルトルトの読みを外してこのザマだ。じゃん。
あるタイミングでベルトルトを引きつけなきゃならねえが、終的にはお前に頼るからな。
Yes. They kind of need your help, Levi.
しかしどうやって獣の巨人を仕留めればいい？やつを
Just that he's more of a strategist, but at the same time, he's what the hell? Man, he has good eyesight.
様子見で目指すはパーフェクトゲームだ。
They're screwed.
なんなんだよこの砲撃音は。
敵は大砲なんて持ってたの？
急げ！車線の死角を移動しろ！
奴の投石で前方の家はあらかた消し飛んだ。あの投石が続けばここもすぐ更地になる。仮に兵士が壁を越えて投石を逃れて馬は置いていくしかない。我々は甚大な被害を受けている。獣は兵士が前方の一箇所に集まるように小型の巨人まり内門側の残存兵力は新米調査兵士の君たちとリヴァイ兵士
あるか。叫べエレン！もうこれ以上ベルトルトを食べ。あの野郎虫かよ。おいどうすんだじゃん。
時の熱風で立体機能は無力化される。
分
かってるっての。今だ死ね。見下ろしてんじゃん。
Yeah, he's gonna toss it. God damn.
あれはエレンか。
Yes.
壁の上まで吹っ飛ばされたってわけか。やつにあっちまう。何か一発逆転の策でもない限りこの
How are you going to attack? Don't rush in without a plan.
やつはまだライス
I
を
don't know
知
what
ら
they're
ない。
gonna do here.
俺とトニーと見えすぎた陽動だろう。だが
He's actually fighting smart this time.
やっぱりダメか。この熱風は発射した雷槍さえ跳ね返す。何か反撃の糸口は。
They're all counting on you, Armin. And it's a lot of pressure. Unless they have some. Oh, god damn it. They're screwed.
獣はここらに当たりをつけた。エルヴィン、反撃の手数が何も残されてねえって言うんだ。
They just have to run. And the serum that
あい
they
らの担
have.
当だろ。うるせえ。もう意味ねえだ
It
ろ。
helps.
なんだと。あんなに理屈じゃ分かっていたさ。自分を犠牲にできるやつが必要なんだってな。そんな勇敢な兵士は誰だ。そんなに何の意味もないことだなんて思いもしなかったんだ。
She stayed there moping around. He's still just gonna get eaten.
そういう人たちの新兵と判事たちの生き残りが馬で一斉に散らばりキロを目指すのは出て
無理だ。近づくことすらできない。
だろうな。だが お前とエレン、俺はもう誰も生きて帰れないとすら思っている。
ああ、反撃の手立てが何もなければな。この作戦がうまくいけばお前は獣を仕留めることができるかもしれない。ここに我はほとんど死ぬだろう。いや、全滅する可能性の方がずっと高い。詐欺師のように体のいい方便を並べなくてはならない。私が先頭を走らなければ誰も続く者はいないだろう。俺はこのままスタート。何度も死んだ方がマシだと思った。それでもすぐそこにあるんだ。だがリヴァイ、どうなったか知りたいんだ。まだ戦いは終わってないからな。
お前はよく戦った。おかげで俺を地獄に導け。獣の巨人は俺が仕留める。
こうか。もうちょっと何かあると思ったんだけどな。
今だ。撃て！これより最終作戦を告げる。総員整列。我々は目標の投石のタイミングを見て一斉に深淵弾を放ち、投石の命中率を少しでも下げる。
獣の周りは更地だぞ。利用できるような木も家もねえ。
いいや。
This isn't Spider-Man. Not a bad plan, but won't he notice him?
すまない。
すぐさま準備に取り掛かる。
俺たちは
I don't know. This is a weird plan. I don't see how this.
死ぬんですか。どうせ死ぬならどうやって死のうと、命令に背いて死のうと意味なんかないですよね。
岩で体を砕かれても同じだ。人はいずれ死ぬ。ならば無意味だった。いや違う。あの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ。聖者である我々だ。我々はここで死に、それこそ唯一この産地を生かる兵士を叫ぶ、兵士を叩け。
He survived up to so far. God damn it. Alright, so there we have it, episode 16. So, I don't know, it's a disheartening episode. A very disheartening episode. And damn it. We lost Erwin, or at the very least it appears that we have. For the second time, I mean, they can't keep doing this to us, right? They're like, okay, later on he's not dead again. Maybe he lost a leg this time instead of his arm last time. We lost him once before, but it's as if, as what Levi kept saying, they would have never made it this far if not for Erwin. So to lose him at this point, I mean, even if they do win now, I don't think these three Titans are the extent of the threat that they're facing. So there will be other battles to come, and I don't know, maybe Armin will be the one to fill that role, because I mean he's not doing so great right now, but prior to this episode he was doing pretty well in thinking outside the box and leading them. But I mean, this episode not so much. Up against the Colossal Titan, he can't figure out how to beat him, and I mean, neither can I. Can either of you think of a way to actually beat him? I don't know. You know, I figured maybe when this season, or this half of the season started, since they were doing a lot of experiments and they came up with the Thunder Spear, I thought that perhaps they had built some other weapon aside from the Thunder Spear, because I didn't expect that to work, right? It worked perfectly against the Armored Titan, but getting in close range is why it works. right? And with the Colossal Titan, there's no way for them to get in close with the steam that he can release. And they've come across it. They fought him several times, and they know now what he's capable of. So I mean, they should know that there's no way that was going to work against him. So I figured maybe Hanji came up with some other weapon, something more a ranged weapon of some sort, to kind of I don't know, turn things into I don't know. It doesn't appear that way. Hanji is still missing. There still could be, it could still be that she's around, and maybe I'm right, and there is some other weapon that she's kept hidden, waiting for the right moment. But at least that's what I thought at the very start of this episode. But at the end here, since Erwin seems to be his last stand, it doesn't appear as though there was some other plan in place. And this wasn't the plan that I was expecting. It's not really a plan, honestly. It's a suicide mission. I thought he had something else in mind, but it's just, okay, we'll be targets, you'll be the sacrifices, and you go around and kill the beast then. Which, as capable as Levi appears to be, I don't see that being possible, at least not as a scout. What I would suspect would happen is that he would eventually have to use the serum on himself. There's still a question as to how that would work, being that he would just become another mindless Titan, unless his lineage somehow allows him to, to still be conscious, after he is transformed. But, it's looking rather hopeful. Hopeless. It's looking rather hopeless right now. There, as he pointed out, there are no houses or trees or anything like that for him to swing around, and this is not Avengers where Spider-Man can swing around in the open with nothing to attach himself to. So, I mean, Erwin suggested using Titans, to get in close, but there's no way that the Beast Titan won't notice the other Titans that far out being taken down, coming closer and closer to him, even being distracted, because after his first throw, pretty much most of Erwin's group would have been wiped out. So there's no way that they have to distract him long enough for Levi to get in close. So I think he's gonna get close, but the Beast Titan will notice him. At which point there's no way he can maneuver around to actually dodge or fight him. There's no way for him to fight him in an open field. And I think at that point he would have to use the serum to make himself a Titan. That's my prediction. At the release, I could be wrong. The other thing would be that maybe Hanji's still around, and maybe she has some other weapon that she's not told anyone about that can turn the tide. Again, that's not looking rather hopeful right now either. I don't know. The Beast Titan is. I doubt that, even though he seems to be a brilliant, strategist. I think he's also a capable fighter. We did see a few episodes ago that he did beat the Armored Titan. He did beat the Armored Titan, and that was why they agreed to his mission here. So he beat Reiner, and that was no easy feat. Not to use Eren as a marker, because Eren's not a great fighter, honestly. But Eren had trouble fighting him as a Titan, because even as a Titan he was still using the moves that he had learned, and Zeke somehow beat Reiner, so I'm assuming that he's a capable fighter himself, which means that he would put up a decent fight against Levi as well. As I said, the only way I can see this working is if Levi somehow changes into a Titan. That's the only way I can see him winning. I don't believe he can win just as a scout using the ODM gear. The others beyond the wall, I don't know, they're not faring so well right now either. Eren got his ass tossed against the wall, trying to stop the Colossal Titan. They tried to bait him at first. A tactic that has worked on him once, and they tried it earlier on last episode, and Armin did, and it didn't work. I don't know why they would think it would work now. And tried to distract him, and Eren tried to slow him down by jumping on his foot, and of course, it's like he's the size of a cat, a small cat, you know, you're walking around. Yeah, how likely is it that a cat can stop you from moving your leg from moving? He just tossed him like a rag and slammed against the wall. He's unconscious now, so he's out for the moment. I mean, the other option open to them, and that may have even been a better option than charging the beast Titan, would have been to wake Eren the hell up and have him run in the other direction, and they would chase him because he's the one they're after. They wouldn't be able to catch him the Colossal Titan wouldn't be able to catch him in that form because he's not very fast. Reiner at least was down at the time, so they could have had Eren run and try to escape that way. Reiner himself is now back. He's now awake. He's now back in the game because they allowed enough time to pass where he could actually recover. And that was I don't know, that was a dumb mistake on their part. Last they blasted him initially, and he was exposed. He was vulnerable right there, and they were just sitting there, celebrating rather than finishing the job. I mean, I know they didn't know about, his moving his subconscious from his brain to the rest of his body, but going and blowing the hell up every part of him, right? And they wasted that opportunity, and now he's back. So now they have the Colossal Titan to face, they have Reiner to face, and the Beast Titan on the other side. They're in a pincer attack. There's no way for them to get out of this. And even if Levi is successful in killing the Beast Titan, which I don't think he will, I don't see the Beast Titan dying this earlier in. I mean, he's been revealed for some time now, but we've seen him here and there in small scenes, but we've not gotten, any information as to who he is, what his agenda is, or anything like that. I don't think they'd take him out that easily. But even if Levi is successful and manages to defeat him, there's still the matter of the Colossal and the Reiner, who I don't believe I don't think Reiner's going to fall for that move twice, and they don't have any way to defeat the Colossal Titan. So they're in a bit of a spot now. I can't figure out any way how they can actually survive this. I can't. Right? As I said, only option, have Eren run away, and while they're distracted chasing him, retreat. That was it. It's too late for that now. Erwin managed to convince them that it's die here or die with me, and they're charging the Beast Titan. I'm going with that plan. So it's too late for retreat now. Most of them are going to be wiped out. I really do hope Erwin doesn't die here, before, at the very least, before learning the truth. That's what he's been about since the very beginning. The injury that he got might not be fatal. He was injured in his lower abdomen there. It might not be fatal. It could be, but I would hope that he's still alive. I mean, they don't seem to have the greatest, medical facilities in this world, but I hope that he lives, only because he's one of my favorite characters in the show. So I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I want Armin to step up. I mean, he's doubting himself because one of his plans didn't work, and disregarding the ones that actually did work. And the team should have done a better job of, telling him that, yeah, it's fine, you failed once, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But he told Jean to take over, and I don't know why. He said he's better at this, but when have you ever seen Jean be a great strategist? As he said, he admitted it himself. He said he's good at predicting stuff, but that's not really his thing, right? So I really want Armin to step up, and I think next episode we will see him step up, and it may be that he has to lose someone first before that happens. So Jean might die, or someone, and he may have to wake the hell up and realize that, okay, I can't wait for someone else to do this. I have to just do it and figure out some way. I don't know how he's gonna do it, especially now that Reiner is back. And that's two that they now have to face. So I don't know how he's gonna pull it off, but I have faith in Armin. So I don't know. I'm betting on Armin. That's it. That's all I can say. That's it, right? Somehow Levi if you're going with this plan, somehow Levi has to manage to beat the Beast Titan, and Armin has to figure out some way to deal with the Colossal Titan. I think Eren, once he's awake again, can deal with the Armored Titan, right? So that's just it. Eren has to deal with the Armored Titan, Armin has to figure out some way to deal with the Colossal, and Levi has to take out the Beast Titan. That's the only way I can see them even winning. Short of that, they have to just have Eren run and retreat. Those are the only two options I see open to them, right? Terrible episode. Not terrible in terms of the story, but terrible in terms of what's happening to the characters now. Alright guys, be sure to post down in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. I know everyone here must be devastated seeing the end. I'm sure we're going to be seeing the end of a lot of characters before the next episode is completed, or before the season is over. We're going to be losing some people. That's never fun, but yeah. Alright, be sure to hit like or subscribe, and I'll see you guys